Hello and welcome to another episode of Elite Dangerous with your host, Zara Peppers. In recent weeks, there has been a new development concerning various mysterious alien objects found around the Elite Dangerous universe. So I thought I would talk a little bit about what we know so far about these cryptic artifacts, and I recently visited the site of one of these mysterious objects, and this is my journey. One of the first hints of this potential race were objects found in deep space. To me, they seem like some kind of organic probe or possibly sentient. Originally, they were extremely rare to come across, with only a handful of pilots ever finding one. However, over the past few months, there seems to have been a proliferation of these objects, sometimes with more than one being found in a system. Here's one of the objects in question, emitting its signature eerie auditory phenomena. Tests on these objects have so far discovered that it uses something similar to sonar to scan nearby planets and even man-made objects like space stations. Then it appears to send out some kind of distorted Morse code and then sends those signals in the direction of the star system Merope in the Pleiades Nebula, about 400 light-years from civilized space. A station has now been set up in a neighboring star system, and that is where we find ourselves now. I'm just checking out the black hole in the system at the moment, about to make the jump to Merope. I'm in a nearby system called, I think it's Maya. There have been attempts to study them, but it has been found that they have a damaging effect on ships and the stations where they have been brought aboard. They produce a very strange and rather haunting sound, as you just saw, with tiny blue orbs being emitted from them and then scattering off into space. There is one instance where a player ran a recording of the signals produced by one of these objects through a scanner on board his ship. The result was something that sent shivers down his spine. It spit out a basic vector diagram of the ship that he was currently piloting. After the release of the Horizons expansion, the plot thickened when a player discovered some sort of structure on one of the moons of Merope 5. It appears to be similar to the alien artifacts that have been discovered in deep space, emitting similar strange noises and small blue orbs. And that is where we're heading right now, to one of the known locations of one of these structures that the elite community have named barnacles. Some theorize these objects have something to do with an alien race known as the Thargoids that were present in earlier versions of Elite Dangerous games. Apparently they had the technology to bring someone out of frameshift jumps, and few ever survived the encounter. They are described as an insectozoid race that has technology far beyond that of humans, possibly with the ability of intergalactic travel or interdimensional travel. So here we are at Merope 5, the brown dwarf with the rather impressive ring system is Merope 5, and right now we're currently headed towards the moon, or I don't know if you call it a moon or a planet, because technically a brown dwarf is kind of a sort of a star. I don't know if you'd classify this as a moon or a planet. We'll call it a moon. This is the moon that has the alien artifact on it. Now the only way to find it is via a set of coordinates that you can find online. If I can give it to you now, the coordinates, if you're curious about checking it out, are minus 26.3496 and minus 156.4044. That's in longitude and latitude. And here we are approaching the surface, about to make our landing. Now, it took me quite a while to actually find this thing, but I have to admit, when I finally came across it, I was overcome with a wave of excitement. I'm glad they're adding this kind of depth to the Elite Dangerous universe, because there was a little while there where, even after the introduction of horizons and landing on planets, the fact that you could only land on pretty much sterile planets made the universe seem a bit sterile, but adding stuff like this into it gives it a sense of life, and I'm really liking where they're going with this. Now, we can only speculate as to what's going to happen in the future with these kind of discoveries. Are we going to encounter this alien race? Are they going to start being an antagonist of sorts, or are we going to be the antagonists? My reasoning on that you'll see a bit later. So we are just setting down as close as we can to the alien artifact. Nice landing. Now this is a very nice area to be in. This is sort of in the center of a nebula, so everywhere you look around you is just beautiful colors of gases and nebulae looking stuff. So here we are in the little buggy. Now, as far as Horizons goes with the planets and stuff, at the moment you can only land on planets that don't have any kind of atmosphere, and I would think that's because of the type of buggy that you can buy, because obviously you'll need different kinds of buggies for different kind of atmospheres. So as they introduce other buggies, other models, hopefully you'll be able to land on other planets. But here we are. This is the alien artifact in question. Now what we have here are a number of spires that are made up of, some of them have what are called meta-alloys on them, and the rest are made up of just your regular materials that you'd find on a planet. And then in the center here you have this, what people are calling barnacles. You can see that it emits the same kind of creepy sound that the probes do. And it also has the same little blue speck orb things emitting off of it and into space. And they seem to disperse into space. Got some really quite interesting, a very interesting atmosphere. But I think it's pretty obvious that this is the result of the same race, or whatever you want to call it, that the probes are. And this is where all those probes have been pointing, so it's possible that this is some kind of receiver, and then it maybe transmitted elsewhere? Words. But I think the best thing to do right now is for me to just shut up and let you listen to this eerie sound for a little bit. Now there's a lot of different sorts of sounds that are coming off of it. You have this whine, which sort of reminds me of one of those air raid sirens. And then you also have something that almost sounds like whale communication. And you can also see, as you come around it, on the top in the white little white tip, there's some kind of symbol. Of course, I stopped just short of being able to see it, but you'll be able to see it soon enough. And you probably noticed it before. I don't know if this is some kind of marker or designation. Maybe it's a serial number for this particular receiver or transmitter receiver. And then you have all these spires around here. Now you could destroy these spires to get materials, but they do seem to grow back fairly quickly. And there's something called meta-alloys that you can get. You can see the spires with the larger sort of glowy, flowery things coming off of them. Those ones are the meta-alloys, and you can actually collect them. A while ago, the Obsidian Station, the nearby station, was collecting them, but they recently stopped collecting them. Mainly for research, because they found that this could help prevent, I believe it was to help prevent these artifacts from degrading your ship, and the meta-alloys had something to do with stopping that. Now, what people have been doing, as you can see me doing right now, is destroying these spires and taking the materials that come off of them, which makes me sort of wonder whether or not there's going to be anybody who's going to object to this kind of action in the future. I mean, it does seem kind of rude just blowing up this stuff and then taking the materials that come off of them, because obviously this is a thing that's supposed to be here to do something that somebody has put here. So maybe that'll play into the story in the future. But for now, I'm sure people will just continue to do it, as I am right now, despite the fact that I don't even have enough cargo space in my ship to carry any of it. Now, I got a little bit worried here for a moment, because as I was collecting this stuff, I noticed a contact on my sensors coming in, a player. So I turned around and took a look, and of course we have some guy in a Cobra who's checking me out. Now, as the sensor indicates, he's not deploying his hardpoints, so I thought I would just say hello, and since I don't see people around very much, and to see somebody out this far away is pretty rare. Of course, it is a magnet for people now, because people know this is here. But he doesn't seem like he's going to bother me, so I think I'll just pack up my stuff and head out, because I've collected all that I need to collect. So let's head back to the ship and get out of here before he changes his mind. Now, it was at this point that I remembered that I don't have any cargo modules in my ship, so I thought I would drop my meta-alloys and see if he wanted to pick it up and sell it, because I couldn't do anything with it. So I thought I would let him know and then drop it for him to take. But he doesn't seem to be very hostile. He's not deploying his hardpoints, and later on we would actually chat for a little bit, so it was nice actually coming across somebody to talk to in the vastness of space for a change. But then my game crashed. So I got back on and he was still around, but at this point he was just busy exploring the artifact as I was, so I decided to head out. So that's it for the various alien discoveries in the Elite Dangerous universe so far, so I suppose I'll call it a day. Until next time, until the next mysterious alien discovery, good night, or good day, or whatever time it is right now for you. But actually, before I go, I thought I would just mention my Twitter account quickly. I thought I would start the account for those of you who would like to keep track of my progress on things and future videos. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, I'll put the link in the descriptions and all the descriptions of videos in the future. On that note, see ya.